Hey y'all, it's Leslie with That Cat Flossing. I'm finally kinda back on my regular scheduled video time. I meant to do it yesterday, but I just ran out of time. So, which is a common theme for me, you will have noticed. Anyway, today is, I believe, April 27th, 2018. I shouldn't sound questioning about the year. I do actually know that it is 2018. I know it's Friday, and I believe today is the 27th, but I haven't looked at the calendar today, and oh well, we'll call it close enough. It's the last Friday of April. So anyway, I got lots and lots to show you today because I'm going to talk about Maynia. Michelle, I'm hoping it gets that face. But anyway, thank y'all for coming to watch. I appreciate every time y'all come back, and everybody who is subscribed, and I enjoy sitting down to chat with y'all about stitching. And I'm going to jump right in. It's the usual busyness around my house. Nothing super strange and wonderful. So let's get talking about cross stitch. I actually have two FFOs. Well, almost FFOs because I want to get some trim to put around the edge. This first one is a little bee by LizzieKate. Max, go away, please. Sorry. Max just wants to stick his head in the camera. This is a little bee by LizzieKate, and I have already sent this pattern on to Michelle, and I'm sure that she will forward it on to somebody else when she's done with it. I backed it with this kind of cool material. This came from Joann's, and it's got insects, including a bee, on the back of it. But I thought that, actually, I think I just pointed out the yellow jacket. Those are not good. We don't like those. There's the bee. There's the bee? Yeah, there's the bee. But anyway, I apparently had multiple brain spells when I was doing this. Number one, I left the hole for stuffing it open on the top instead of the bottom. I was trying to do too many things at once, and brain spell. And I meant for the fabric on the back to go up and down instead of side to side, but oh well. I'm gonna run by Walmart probably later tonight or tomorrow and pick up, I want some kind of cotton lace or something kind of rustic, some kind of trim to go around the edge, and I didn't have anything like that in my stash. So all I got to do is put the trim on it, and it will be FFO'd complete. And the other one I have finished is Summer from the Summer Smalls by LizzieKate. It's the one I did the blue sheep on, you may remember. And I love the watermelon, and watermelon is my favorite fruit, and I backed it with a watermelon print, and put some, I think it was supposed to come with a little button to put over here on the flower, and for some reason I couldn't find it. But I don't know if I lost it or it didn't come with one or whatever, but I have a big jar of buttons that I have collected over the years, because I started sewing when I was, I don't know, 9 or 10, and sewed fairly regularly through my teenage years and young adulthood, and just put it away after that. But I have a lot of buttons. So I just raided the button stash, got this kind of funky striped one and this flower one down here, and I thought the butterfly was cute, perched up here on the M. So, and I had some pink rickrack that I was going to put around the edge and do the thing where you put a pearl every so often and sew it in there, or a bead, whatever. Y'all, that stuff had so much sizing in it, I could not force the needle, and not a blunt tip needle, a sharp, through it. No, I'm not willing to work that hard to do it. So I am going to find some other trim to put on this. But once I get the trim around both of those, two Summer Smalls. Now I just have to figure out if I can leave them out without the cats doing away with them. What are the odds? I also had two finishes. The first one is, this is Welcome Dear August by Blackbird Designs. But since I didn't need the name August on mine, it's got my initials up there and then the date down here at the bottom, 2018. But I thought he was a really pretty bird. And I'm going to finish this on the box that they talk about in the Blackbird Designs booklet that came with him. And he stitched on 36 count, 1/2, with the recommended threads, which I believe were gassed threads, but I could be wrong. They could be Classic Colorworks or Weeks. I just don't remember. But the recommended threads on 36 count. I want to say light exemplar, but I've slept since then and I don't truly remember. And my other finish is the one that everybody is, y'all have got to be sick of seeing this one because I've been working on it for a long time. But I finally finished Mother's Heart by Shepherd's Bush. This is a redo of a kit that I did back in the early 90s for my mom. And I've redone it for my mother-in-law. And I finally, yesterday, got the beads put on it. And I love the way beads look on a project. I just think they add something special to it. But I have to tell y'all, I am not a fan of beading. I'll do it, at least on something smaller like this, but it's not my favorite. But this thing is done. We're going to go goof around tomorrow in Russellville and Dardanelle, and Arkansas Tech University is down there, and there's a lot of thrift shops in there. So I'm still looking for a square frame, and if I don't find one tomorrow, I'm going to have to break down and go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and get a frame for it. Yeah, wish me luck. So, but anyway, I have 2 FFOs, 2 finishes. I'm pretty proud of myself this week. And then I revisited. I haven't worked on this, and it felt good to pull out something else, y'all, because I've been really working on that Mother's Heart. But this is, where's the pattern? I haven't shown it in a while. This is Blackberry House by Plum Street Samplers. And I've worked on it the last 2 evenings. And I think I got another couple of leaves put in and started on a couple of the berries. Not a huge amount of progress, but hey, you know, it is forward progress. I'll take it. So I'm enjoying being back to working on this one. I kind of think that this will probably be what I work on probably most of the weekend. Because I like it. I'd like to get some progress done. At some point, though, I've got to work on that birthday present for my friend Charlotte. So little time, so many things I want to stitch. Just not fair, right? So that was all of that stuff. I didn't start anything because I've been good because I'm going to be a maniac next week. But I have to say some thank yous. And I don't have any haul with the exception of, this is from, I never remember the name before I get this from, and it never says on here. But this is Picture This Plus Bramble. And I guess I should take it out of the bag. It's a pretty mauve, very light, mauvey pink color. It's showing up more taupe colored, but it's really got more of a lavender pink cast to it. And it's very pretty. It's 28 count Lugana, which, you know, a year ago I would have been stitching the heck out of it, but I've discovered I really like the smaller count threads. So when I get around to it, I will be doing a de-stash with some of this stuff, so y'all keep an eye out. That's really pretty color. I just wish it was 32 or 36 count. And I checked, and unfortunately I can't change, you know, I committed for the year, and because I committed, you know, I'm in, got to do it. But next year I will be doing a smaller count. And that's all I had for haul, but I was the recipient of some wonderful stitchy kindness. Jeannie, and I'm not going to say her last name because I don't have her permission to use her last name, but Jeannie, who's been watching on FlossTube, contacted me, I guess, last week, pardon me, and asked for my address and wanted to send me some stitchy kindness. And y'all, boy, did she ever. She sent me this Shepherd's Bush kit, an humble heart. That's hard to say, by the way. And look, y'all, I don't have any needle minders. Isn't that pretty? It says, kind people are my kind of people. That's the truth. Boy, I agree with that 100%. So this is really cool. And I don't use a needle minder typically because I stitch in hand. But I do have that magnet board that I put my patterns and keep my pin cushion and my thread heaven and all that stuff on. So this is going in there. Thank you so much, Jeannie. I love it. I love it. It's not one of the kits that I had. And it really was a kindness. Thank you so much. She also sent me, and you guys, you're going to die. These are so cute. Look at those little kittens. Oh, they are so sweet. I just love them to pieces. They are so cute. So thank you again, Jeannie. And as if that wasn't enough, she sent me a kitty tea towel. I love it. Again, thank you so much, Jeannie. I wish I could express my gratitude better, but I do appreciate it. That was awesome. It was a wonderful surprise, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. And then the other thing I got in the mail, and I've kind of broken the rule about not using it until you show it, because, I mean, who came up with that rule? It's not my rule. I'm not big on rules, period, other than the do unto others rule. That one I believe in. But this is a project bag. Jackie, I guess I won't say her last name either because I don't know. But she is a frequent commenter on a lot of people's floss tubes. And she has just done her first floss tube, and I will link it down in the comments because she's a lot of fun, y'all. Super sweet lady. Kind of like me, was away from stitching for a while and has come back to it with a vengeance. Although maybe that's with a lot of enthusiasm. That's a better word, right? But anyway, we did a project bag exchange. I sent her one of the zipper bags that I make based off of Suzette, the Primitive Stitcher's tutorial, and I will also link the tutorial below. But I don't know how to make these wonderful bags with the clear fronts, and I'm sure I could find out if I just searched it out, but I've gotten so comfortable making the others. It's just sheer laziness on my part. But anyway, she sent me this beautiful, I like florals, and that's just a really pretty one. Totally my colors. Super pretty bag. And I've already got something in it. I'll show y'all that in just a minute. And then she sent me this really pretty card. And I'm so plain Jane on my cards, y'all. I don't do any of the paper crafting and make anything special, but look how pretty this is. All those layers with the butterfly and everything. So pretty. And then she also included in here this little pair of scissors. Aren't they cute? And you never have too many scissors. And this really pretty scissor fob with a kitty. Or is he a fox? That one may be a fox. I don't know. And I don't care. It's pretty. I think it's just beautiful, and I love it. Thank you so much, Jackie. I hope you enjoyed the bag that I sent you. Super grateful. And pulling this bag out leads me to the first of Maynia, because I've never done Stitch Maynia before, because it wasn't really a thing when I was stitching before, and last year I was kind of just getting my feet, and actually I was tearing out my shoulder and then having it repaired, so I didn't stitch a whole lot last spring. But this year I plan to participate in Maynia. I have a lot of things pulled. But, you know, I was talking about Suzette Peters, the Primitive Stitcher, and I was watching her the other day, and she said something that I just thought was awesome. She said, what does it matter how many things you start? If you already have the stuff and you have it kitted up, so what if you put a few stitches in it? If you don't do it. And I love that because, number one, I think I'm more motivated to be actively stitching on something if it's already kitted up and started. Unlike a lot of people, I do not enjoy the kitting up process. I'm filming in the dining room today, even though the light is funky, because I don't like that pulling the fabric and serging the edges and pulling all the threads and digging around, and my office looks like a tornado tore through it because there are boxes of floss and sticky notes. This floss here, this floss there, buy this other floss. all over the place. So anyway, that part's not my favorite. I will get most of this kitted up before May 1st because I got a pretty good start on it today. I'm sorry, y'all. Pardon me. So rude, and I'm so sorry. But anyway, I have started my kitting process. And here in this beautiful bag that Jackie sent me, I have started with I Love My Home. I never say it right. Cuore, Batticuore, something like that. She's an Italian designer. Isn't that pretty? This idea, with the little key tag thing, and that will be going on the zipper pull when I'm done with this video. I stole that idea from somebody on FlossTube. I think maybe it was Emily. Eclectic Possessions. But I'm not sure about that. But whoever it was, great idea. Totally stealing it. It's a great idea. I'm going to use it. So anyway, I'm doing these little tags, writing what it is on them, and then attaching it to the zipper pull. And then instead of unzip, 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 looking for stuff, I can just look at the tag and easily know what it is. So this one I have not pulled the flosses yet. It calls just for DMC, and I'm going to stitch it in DMC. And it is going on this piece of 36 count. It's an R&R Reproductions, and I apologize. I sent my order to Anne at the Shepherd's Needle, and she was kind enough to fill it for me, but I'm not sure what the abbreviation OTB is, or it could be DTB. Not positive. Anyway, it's a pretty kind of a light mocha color with a little bit of modeling in it. It's very pretty, and that's what I'm starting that one on. And I haven't yet determined if there's going to be any particular order to my starts, or if I'm just going to grab out of the pile. Haven't thought that far through yet. The next one I'm planning to start, this is a Sam Sarah called Over the Hill, and it's actually part 1 of 9. Now, I love Sam Sarah designs, but this particular trend from designers breaking things up into multiple parts and selling each part for $10-ish. I can't do that. So this is the part I have. I think I got it from eBay, I believe. Not positive, but I think, or maybe Stash Unload. But I'm just going to be stitching the one part. It's got the bee on it. It's got pretty pink flowers and a bird, all the things I love. So I'm stitching the one. And then this is, I believe, some 32 count blue wing that I pulled out of my stash. And I'm just going to chop a piece of that off to do that on. I did, however, have a brain spell. 32 count linen. The chart calls for wildflowers, which are a stranded cotton. It's a little bit heavier gauge, is commonly used for needlepoint. Very pretty variegation in it. Anyway, it's Karen watercolors, and I ordered those. So I'm going to have to figure out if these will now work, because I pulled the pattern and the linen from my stash, so I was okay with ordering the pretty colors. They really are pretty colors. Love the colors. I have to separate these and see if I can use it on a 32 count. If not, I will have to drop down a size and find a 28 count linen to do that on. I'm not sure how that's going to work yet. Stay tuned. And then this was one of my market haul pieces. Welcome Spring by, I think this is a Brenda Gervais. Yeah, Brenda Gervais. I love the sheep. Sheep pulling a buggy full of robin's eggs and a fat robin. What's not to love there? So that's going to be one of my starts. I've got most of the cauliflowers pulled and one DMC because I couldn't find whatever color that was. And it also calls for a couple of Valdani, and I've got those. And then this is another one. This is 32 count Lugana in a bone color that I pulled out of my stash. I know it's from my stash because it's a fat quarter for $11. You ain't gonna find that real commonly anymore. But more importantly, it's still got a sticker on it from Ginger's in Austin, and they closed in 2007 or 2008. So this has been around for a while. And I wasn't going there a whole lot in 2007 or 2008. So it's probably from more like 20 years ago. But that's what I'm going to stitch it on. I have to figure out, I am a little concerned that the sheep may not show up well on that. So I kind of have to experiment with that and make sure that the sheep is going to actually show up, or I may be changing the color of that sheep. But I am going to use that because, you know, out of my stash. Need to use it. I won't subject y'all to the sound of all these zippers. Hopefully I opened them all up. My next start, oh Lord, 21 minutes. I got to get going here. This was also a pattern from my stash, Country Cottage Needleworks, Sweetest Home. Beehives, gotta love it. And I had the linen that I purchased at the time that I bought the pattern. This is a Witchelt in a 28 count mint green. And I've got the flosses pulled, and I'm just using a mixture of fancy floss and DMC because, hey, that's what I have. And you know, what I have discovered is that in a lot of patterns, unless it is a fairly sizable area, the variegation really doesn't show up that much. So DMC it is. And I've got a full set plus of DMC, so I need to be using it, right? Next, y'all, I have to show you this project bag. Look at the sheep with the balloons. Aren't they cute? Anyway, I thought that was the perfect home for Wilhelmina. And Wilhelmina is going on R&R 36 count weathered shingle. And I've got mostly fancy floss pulled for her. A couple of the others are DMC. Love that pattern. This may be my May 1st start. Love her. This one I've had kitted up for a while because I meant to start it a while back. This is Good Deeds, also by Brenda Gervais. And I've got fancy floss pulled for her. And then the recommended linen. Come on, Anne. I must not have bought this at the Shepherd's Needle because Anne serges everything, and this one isn't serged. But I believe it's the recommended Legacy by Picture This Plus. So, anyway, how I left that one piece out of the folder, I don't know. And y'all, I'm sorry, I'm crinkling the paper and taking the time to put it away because I don't want to lose it. It's another thing. I got to go next door to my mother-in-law's and borrow her serger and finish off all this linen that somebody didn't do. That is the single biggest customer service thing that I think an LNS does, is go ahead and serge their linen when they cut it and mark it. Please mark it. And speaking of which, one of my, like I said, I'm not a fan of kitting stuff up. And one of my pet peeves is when designers list a bunch of fancy floss in no particular order. They may mix the gentle arts with the weeks, with the classic colorworks, with the Faldani or whatever in no order, you know, not separated out, not alphabetical. They just decided to start with the dot symbol and whatever the dot equals. I don't know if they're doing it in volume of stitches or they just felt like putting the dot first on any given day. I don't know, but come on, y'all, put them at least in alphabetical order. If you can separate them by, you know, each type of fancy floss, that's awesome too. Okay, I got that off my chest. Anyway, I appreciate it when they're in alphabetical order. This is Time for God. I bought this last spring in Tulsa at the Silver Needle. And I'm assuming, which, by the way, they don't serge their fabric. This is 30 count, and I believe it's the called for Weeks Dye Works cappuccino. And I've got, again, a mixture of Fancy Floss and DMC pulled for that. This was a Market Splurge. Nope, not this one. This one, look at this, surged. Thank you, Anne, at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. I bought this last year. Block Party, the wool square from Hands On Design. Just love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm gonna get a sheep on that, a sheep. I'm gonna get a start on those sheep. She did not have the recommended linen, which was Country French Rain, but this is Dwarf by Picture This Plus, and I think it'll substitute very nicely. And I have one lonely little Fancy Floss pulled for it. Most of them are in another bag for some other project, but I did have to order a couple more that aren't here yet. Don't you love my frogs? Love those frogs. I bought that material 20 years ago. I can't get it anymore, but so cute. And y'all excuse me for messing with my right eye. I have done something. I don't know if I have a sty or, anyway, it's swollen as heck, it itches, and it's driving me nuts. So, sorry about that. This is another one of those Cuore, Batticuore patterns. This one is, I don't read Italian. I've got no idea, but they're little Easter characters. And I plan to start probably this chicken down here just because I think she's adorable. If I can make her fit, she may be what ends up in the center of that wreath because she's just so cute. I can't stand it. But that's all I have in that bag so far is... Oops, nope. I do have the linen. 40 count. Yeah, I don't know what color it is. It's a R&R. But anyway. It says on here. I asked for something similar to light mocha, so that's the similar to light mocha version. This is an old shepherd's bush pattern, and I'm doing Father Yule up here with, guess what, sheep. And he's going to be done on this 32 count Fresno by Picture This Plus. 32? Really? That doesn't look like 32. I don't think that's 32. I think that's 36. I think they were smoking crack when they wrote that tag out. Anyway, he calls for DMC threads, and I don't have those pulled yet. I love this one. Honeybee Hill by Blackbird Designs. Isn't that pretty? It's got the beehives and the bee and just pretty flowers and pretty colors. Love it. Love it a lot. And I have not, again, pulled threads for that one yet, but I do have Weeks Dye Works straw in a 35 count to do that on. Y'all may have noticed I am moving to higher count fabrics. I love stitching with one thread. I love stitching with one thread. And I will stitch with one thread on 32 count. I like the coverage better on 36. 36 is a little harder on my eyes. 40 is quite a bit harder on my eyes. But hey, yeah, I like that one thread thing. This pattern was part of my Market Splurge. And Anne broke it down to ship to me flat, so it would be cheaper to ship. So this is Handful of Posies by Stacy Nash Designs. I think that's so pretty. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. And this little kit came with the linen, the template, and then the batting and the backing fabric. So I need to pull threads for this one, but that should be it. And hopefully, I'll get rid of the big plastic bag now since it's in the other bag. Hopefully, oops, yeah, I'm gonna need to order a couple of those. Oops, we'll leave that one set to the side. Next start is Texas Signs of Spring, #1. When I went to San Antonio back in February, my best friend Charlotte saw this and really wanted me to do it for her. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it in DMC and I've got plenty of white, even weave and white linen in my stash. So I just have to get that out of there. I had been waiting and waiting and waiting. This one's been killing me. I really wanted to start it. Everybody else in the world has started it and finished it by now. I am behind the power curve, but by God, I'm starting it for Maynia. Fresh Eggs Farm from Hands On Design. So pretty. And I haven't stitched on anything really dark in a long time, like, 18 years or so. This is, I think, hand dyed by Stephanie, I think. Slate, and it's pretty dark. And I intentionally went with 32 instead of 36 on it because I was concerned about stitching on the dark fabric. I do have a really good light, and I have an idea that I will be stitching by the window with the light on that one. And then I do have the fancy flosses for it. Lord, 31 minutes. Gotta hurry, gotta hurry. This one, I have to say thank you again to Michelle Garrett, Bindi Stitchy. This is Mademoiselle Rose by Jardin Prive. And she's so pretty. And I'm all about pink. I love pink. See, I like pink. It's my favorite color. This is linen that I've also, I lived in Victoria, Texas the first time when I bought this, which means this predates 1998. This is a Cashel Lavender Mist, which is a very faintly lavender grayish color. And I have converted the colors that I'm using for her to bring out a little more pink and then bring in some purple tones. So we'll see how that works out. But thank you again, Michelle, for sharing that pattern. I'll pass her on when I'm done. Looking forward to getting that one started. This is another one that I bought. I'm pretty sure I got this again last spring at the Silver Needle before I fell and ripped my shoulder to pieces and couldn't stitch. What's it called? It's a little mystery sampler by LizzieKate. And I love what it says. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. You betcha it is. Be grateful for every day we've got here on this earth. Anyway, very pretty. I have picture this plus quartz in a 32 count to do that on, which is not the recommended fabric, I don't think, but that's what I'm using. And then I have a mixture of DMC and fancy floss pulls for it. Oops, I don't need to zip that right now, do I? Bovinia by Plum Street. I gotta love that cow. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So cute. She is going on 36 count Winter Brew by R&R. Got the fancy floss pull for her. And she and Wilhelmina share a lot of colors, so they're sharing some fancy floss. And I've got my little tag of add to this. I love this one. I love this. Shepherd's Bush Scatter Hearts. And it's going to go on that's not the right linen for that. Because I don't think that this oblong chart is going to fit on this square of linen. So I have to figure out where that went. But anyway, I've got mostly fancy floss and some DNC pull for that. I wonder what that's supposed to go with. We'll leave that one pulled to the side too. I obviously was having a brain spell when I was getting that organized. This is a little kit I got off of eBay, I think last year. It's called My Heart is True, and it is a Remember the Ladies design by Gail Bussi, B-U-S-S-I. Just very pretty. It came with the silk threads, I believe. Yes, it did. Came kitted up with the silks for it, which I have put in bags now. It did not come with the linen, and I have chosen this very pale bluish gray in a 40 count, which is a lakeside of some version. I don't know the color name. I gotta get Anne to share what her abbreviations mean with me. We're approaching the end. Sing a Song of Seasons by Blackbird Designs. I have the linen here. It is a 36 count Picture This Plus Wren, and I just ran out of time before I had to get started on the video, but I'm going to pull the fancy floss for it. Although it may have to share too. Another shepherd's bush. Color you shocked, right? This is Santa Berry pudding. And this looks like it'll go real fast just because of all the letters. And that is going on, this is, I don't know what this is. It's a 34 count, oh, pewter gray. I'm not sure who it's by. And then lastly, at least out of this mess, I'm going to start another one of the O'Hare's, Pansy O'Hare by LizzieKate. And she'll go on, you know, the recommended stuff. So that's all that I have, at least semi-kitted up. Now, wait for it. That was, if I counted correctly before we got started, 18. I have at least 3 more that I am going to kit up that I don't have yet, but I have, I watch too much FlossTube. And I've decided I need to do Sally Spencer, Strawberry Field. Well, I have the Strawberry Fields chart. I just didn't bring it in here. And Liberty Lane. So those are all on their way to me, are already here, but I don't have them in a bag yet. That would bring me to 21. We'll see how far I get. And the way I'm treating this is if I do this for 3 or 4 days and it's making me crazy, I'm just gonna stop. If I go all the way through 21 days and I'm still going strong, maybe I'll kit up more and do 31 days. Because 90% of them I have all the stuff for, because if I can afford it at the time that I buy the pattern, I usually buy the supplies to do it, the linen and the threads at the same time. But, you know, I'm not going to let it make me crazy. I'm going to start as many as I want to start. Hopefully that'll be at least the 21. But like I said, if I put 20 stitches in it and call it started and I don't want to do anything more on it, I'm just going to put it away. And if I don't want to start anything else, I'm not. That's kind of the fun of this hobby, right? You can do what you want to do. But anyway, that's all that I've got for Maynia. Hopefully I'll have an update late next week with, hopefully I've started something. I want to say thank you. Max, leave that alone, please. No. Max is my, I don't know, 15 or 16-year-old ragdoll kitty, and he loves to chew on plastic. He's also deaf as a post, so when I snap my fingers at him like that, he just looks at me like, what? You talking to me? Yeah. Deaf as a post. I still love my old man. Anyway, I am creeping up on 1,000 subscribers, and I will be doing some kind of giveaway for that. I think I'll make a project bag, and I've got a Blackberry Designs chart. I can't remember the name of it. The summer one, maybe? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? I think that's the one. I'm not sure. Anyway, I've managed to purchase 2, count them, 1, 2 copies of it. So I will be probably including that pattern and probably a piece of linen and maybe some other goodies in the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Come back and chat with me again. I'm looking forward to talking to y'all again soon. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Happy stitching. Talk to y'all soon. God bless.